Air Components of Operation Hadin OPHK has reiterated the ban on drone operations in the Northeast Theater, comprising Borno, Yobe and Adamawa states, citing security and safety concerns. The Air Component Commander of AC of OPHK, Air Comrade Omar Idris, emphasized the ban in a statement on Wednesday in Maiduguri. He stated that the proliferation of drones for domestic and commercial purposes posed a serious security risks in the region. Idris noted increased use of drones by non-state actors and criminal elements for subversive activities, including attacks on military targets and critical national infrastructure. He added that government agencies and private individuals have been observed operating drones without adherence to extant regulations, a situation that raised concerns over safety and security. He reiterated that any breach of the ban, no matter how insignificant, would be treated with utmost seriousness. The commander urged stakeholders, including government agencies, private individuals, and non-governmental organizations, to comply with the ban on drone operations in the region. He explained that this regulation is necessary to deconflict the airspace and maintain the safety and security of all operators in the Northeast Theater. The ban underscores ongoing efforts to secure the region from potential threats posed by unauthorized drone operators amidst the fight against insurgency. We will not dispute the fact that the issue of insecurity in the Northeast is alarming and out of the space, out of it right now, and Borno, Adamawa, and Maiduguri, and on most of Sokoto, if we're not going to miss out on affected states at the moment. We got a case of 40 people there that were shot by the Boko Haram bandits in Borno State yesterday or 2 days ago. You know, the issue of insurgency is actually on the rise here. Well, do you think that for NAF to, you know, put a ban on the use of drones will actually add to will actually add to curbing insecurity in the Northeast?
I think we have a state of near emergency, if that's the appropriate word to use in the Northeast, where for over 15 years we've had direct conflicts with Boko Haram. And drones are becoming increasingly new additions when it comes to warfare. And of course, we know what drones are doing in the Middle East. We know what drones are doing in Ukraine. And we know how much research is going on, you know, even create more deadly drones.
Okay.
Now, I think, of course, the military has its work mapped out for it. We expect that they have access to radar and they can spot both friendly and unfriendly drones. And these things are just, in real truth, when you're talking in military terms, they are unmanned area vessels. So they could be used for recognizance in terms of gathering intelligence. They could be used to deliver warheads, you know, and hit targets. So what they are saying is, going forward, given the circumstance, the situation on ground, there will be anti-security to allow all kinds of drones in the air. But my take would just be simple. These warnings are not needed. Shoot it down. It's simple. That's within their mandate. You don't need to warn anyone. All those warnings suggest that they are not prepared. Okay, now that you are giving the warning, do the needful. Take them down. Those things fly in the air. You just get them down. You know, because particularly they should not be seen flying around security zones.
Okay.
There are areas where military are conducting operations. How can you have a drone overfly such a zone? It's a huge security risk. because it could mean that if the drone was collecting information, it will show movements of soldiers, show there are some points, there are weak points. So they don't need any permission to shoot those things down. I think that it's okay that in terms of public relations, they have decided to inform the public. But since those things are not manned by humans, you're not seeing, bring them down. There's no
There's
reason
no need to come to the public to inform or put a ban over it.
Yes,
okay.
Just take them down. The one who puts the drone up there loses the drone. Okay? But in security matters, you don't need these warnings. That's my position. I'm a bloody civilian though.
But in that extent, does it mean that this drone is just banned amongst the general public, but the military is limited of the ban? Because I'm trying to get the understanding of this.
Because you need, of course, there have been arguments over the introduction of drones, even by the military, which some persons claiming that some of the targets hit civilian targets.
Yes.
But we should understand that what is going on is a guerrilla war. That these people are using humans as shields. They are living in the communities. They have associates in the communities. And I know that in terms of intelligence gathering, ground and area, Nigeria's military is not too far off when it says that as at the time they struck, dissidents, insurgents were in that area. Okay? But it shows you that perhaps because it's a guerrilla war, there's a high level of collaboration between those human beings who want the fall of the Nigerian state and those in whose territories they're operating. And in my view, although there are usually collateral damages when it comes to military operations, these people who collaborate with enemies of state are enemies. There's no other way by which they can be seen. Okay,
quickly, Chief. Okay, I wanted to ask, this drone ban that has been put in place by NAF, is it just against the general public, or the military is part of it? Because we know that you talked about these drones used as surveillance, in order to get information, vital information about hideouts and whatnot. And then the military has a necessity of using these drones when personalities, people cannot come up to, make this surveillance. Drones are actually used for that because they are put in the air. That my question is, this ban that has been made, is it just for the general public, or it has to be added? It's just for the general public and without the military getting involved.
I think the military cannot exclude its use
of
drones at this time. It cannot. And so I think you can see that if you listen clearly from the point of view portrayed by the Commodore, what he said is that drones are also being used by
private individuals.
Not just private individuals, but also by dissidents or insurgents, as the case may be. If you like, call them bandits, all kinds of names. So the military needs its drones, particularly in difficult terrains, to get appropriate information, aerial information about what's happening on ground. Now, even if it decides to use to deliver explosives to targeted hideouts of these agents that don't like peace in Nigeria, then so be it. But I think what they are trying to say is that going forward, they
will not accept all the drones aside the military.
Or just all kinds of drones in the air, particularly within the periphery of
the northeast.
Not just northeast, of security operations.
Okay.
Because if you are putting a drone in the air, then what do you want to see? What do you want to find?
Lastly, I have a question. This drone situation that's been up, let's go back. Let's take a back check on the issue of insecurity in the Northeast, and lots of lives that have been lost in the quest of ending this insurgence going on right now. Do you, in your thoughts, think that the military has actually put things in place? They have actually done what, to an extent, a commendable action, you know, in order to end this insecurity in the North?
I think that year after year, time after time, the military has tried to upgrade its operations. Defending the nation is its major assignment. Unfortunately, most of the time it should be external. But given the fact that perhaps the Nigerian police is not as effective, the military being forced to show interest in internal security. And I think that there's been quite a lot of restraint on the part of the army. There's some problems in terms of logistics, financing the army, providing modern equipment, you know. If you recall, there was a case of 70 soldiers who said they would not fight if they were not properly equipped.
Taken care of.
And it tells quite a lot of story when they are saying that a nation can't provide the kind of weaponry that a ragtag army has. I think it's a slap in the face. So, but the army, within what it has tried to carry out operations.
Okay.
There was a time that the Northeast was very much in the picture. Everyday violence, everyday men dying, everyday communities taking over, all kinds of stuff. But the high level of such occurrences has reduced.
Okay.
Meaning that some efforts that the military has put in place, which is helping to not just take back territories occupied by these miscreants, but also making sure that it is done, operations are conducted in a very civilized way.
Okay.
Because this is one of the greatest obstacles the Nigerian army has faced. We are dealing with what looks like internal insurrection. It's not a question of saying this is where the enemies are, this is where the army is. And in between, there are people, innocent people, conniving, some even unaware of what is going on and who could become targets when the guns boom.
You said innocent people conniving. In what?
I said there will be persons conniving.
Okay.
Of course, meaning that there are people with criminal intent, and there are some persons who may be innocent, who don't even know what is going on.
Okay.
They don't even know that they are being used as scapegoats, cannon fodder. So this is the thing. Now, but talking about what the military has done or not done, I think progressively there has been some direction, and whether people want to accept it or not, comparatively, given what transpired with due respect, in the era of President Goodluck Jonathan, in the 8 years rule of Buhari, I think within 2 years, barely under 2 years of Tinubu's administration, we can say there is a direction that is emerging. But we expect the military to do some more.
Okay.
We expect the government itself to provide more equipment.
Okay.
You know, there's a directive by the CNC saying he wants this insurgency stamped out.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be something that you just leave.
So
let them provide the army with the necessary equipment.
Right.
You know, it's a technological war. We don't even need to send soldiers into harm's way. We can fight them with technology, blow them off the earth. That's it. I think the military people will understand what I mean by that.
But you know, this cry has been on for a long time. Why do you think that it has not been put in place up till now?
Just because the reason is what it has been. Don't forget that in this country, somebody was tried. They said money approved for military operations was diverted.
They approved 50 billion naira. They're asking for an extra 20.
Look, maintaining security is not an easy thing.
Okay.
And that's why you don't even talk about security votes in the open.
All right.
You know, but it's critical that when those monies are voted for, crying out loud, that they are used as intended. Okay?
Okay.
Countries are, look, the projections many years ago of where the Nigerian Army would be, or where the Nigerian Air Force would be, where the Nigerian Navy would be, it's not where we are. But I was happy there was an occasion I attended recently where the Nigerian Navy was talking about the first Nigerian submarine. And I thought that sounded, for me, as a Nigerian, that sounded interesting. Because we cannot say we'll be in total control of our waterways, that will realize the benefits of the blue economy without being able to protect those water masses that fall within Nigeria's territory, you know. So I'm being also able to, as a great force, emerging force in West Africa, you know, to get beyond our boundaries, to drive peace moves, as we have done in countries like Liberia and stuff, is a critical element of what the new look Nigerian Army should be. Okay. And I expect that if the Tinubu administration is pragmatic enough, that we will understand the need. Because if you cannot protect what you have built in peacetime, then you have nothing.